Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the EJ Sports Podcast. It's your host, E. Now, today I'm going to do a solo mission. It's pretty much you could say, return back to normality. And the reason why I say that is because for the past 2 to 3 weeks, me and Jay have been pretty sick. What I mean is that it's been really hard for us to record. Our voice has been going down. Really, raspy voice. If you guys would have seen our last video, at that point it was just me who was sick, and I could tell the difference right away. Jay hadn't really been that sick, but once that video was uploaded, I'll tell you the next day it's been bad. You know, like I'm currently on some medicine where basically I'm legit like sleepy all the time. That's how strong the medicine is. But today I'm doing a solo mission because I kind of want to do a little recap of what's been going on in the WWE, and it's really a big thing and depends on who you are. Because if you really think about it, this sort of season in the WWE is very much focused on the people who are really, you could say, heading towards WrestleMania season, but also not. And the reason why I say that is because right now, currently, SmackDown has been going on a low, while Raw has been stagnating. And that is not good heading into WrestleMania. For the simple fact that we already know who the night two, well, what's presumed to be night two WrestleMania main event, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. We knew that from the previous episode on Raw that Roman Reigns called a shot. He wants to wrestle Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. And the reason why I say that, it's because due to the fact, due to the fact that we already have the Royal Rumble winner already confirmed going after one of the World Heavyweight Championships or one of the World Championships. That leaves this sort of 2 month period, while still having one PLE, and that is the Elimination Chamber. Or we already guaranteed. And this is the issue that what happened last year is that Jey Uso already called a shot against Gunther, and that basically let them have 2 months to sort of create a storyline. But the issue is that we found out that Jey Uso cannot, and I mean cannot, carry the company, be world championship material. He just can't. And that 2 months figured out right away. It also showed that Gunther needs a good partner in order to carry stuff, do a good storyline. Because you took away his aura, his invincibility as Intercontinental Champion, and as World Champion, he just doesn't have that. So at the point now that we're at, and basically WWE thought at this point, it didn't work last year by having two full time experimental main eventers carry the Royal Rumble win, going for the World Championship into WrestleMania. Let's try now two mega superstars, and that is CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But the only issue is that Roman Reigns, and what has been confirmed, has his dates to be going, be showing up on Raw and WrestleMania. It's all going to be after the Elimination Chamber. So he's still part time. And WWE decided, let's have CM Punk versus Finn Balor. But why? The only reason I would say it'd be acceptable if Dominic Mysterio or the Judgment Day turn on Finn Balor to make that match Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. For me, that is the only reason why we have this match, to have that happen. Add a big PLE to have a big storyline. Because for me, Finn Balor has no chance. And I mean like zero chance of winning this world championship. And I don't think anybody believes he has a chance. Because why would you switch up your already poster headline? CM Punk, Roman Reigns, 1-on-1. Why switch it up? Like, they already have the whole special effects, the Photoshop of the poster ready. It'd be cool, like, in my opinion, it'd be great to have Finn Balor be world champion, to be in that main event scene. But you gave us no indication that Finn Balor deserves to be there. and yet you're still making this storyline that you had unfinished before. Like truly, if you wanted this, storyline, this final match at Elimination Chamber, where you don't give the title to Finn Balor, but you keep it on CM Punk, why? Why have Roman Reigns announce? Why have him announce? Why not have him do what Liv Morgan is doing? Call her shot on Raw and call her shot on SmackDown, but not saying exactly who she's going after. Leave it a mystery. That also, in my opinion, spoils Elimination Chamber, like you did last year. Last year for me, you could say for two things. It spoiled that no Raw competitor was going to be Elimination Chamber winner because that was already wrapped up with Jey Uso. That meant SmackDown was going to go do something. And at the Royal Rumble, you showed that the two people who are truly competitors for the WWE Championship is Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. So, if our two main eventers, the hot storyline for the WWE Championship, is already Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, then why have this whole thing? In my opinion, the Elimination Chamber this year shouldn't have been if you win it, you get a championship or you get a spot or a chance to challenge for a world championship. On either side, man or female. For the simple fact that, in my opinion, the storyline's already there. Yes, it may be the easy route, but guess what? A lot of times, the easy route is the best route. If Bianca Belair is not coming back, Tiffany versus Jade Cargill is the match for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. The triple threat match between Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, and Stephanie Vaquer, that is the match for the Women's World Championship on Raw. Same thing for the men. Triple threat. Cody, Drew, Jacob Fatu. And on Raw side, you already have it. CM Punk versus Roman. For me, for the men and the females in the match in the Elimination Chamber, should have been for the, you could say, the Intercontinental Championship or even the U.S. Championship. Honestly, the men. The men should have been Mello as U.S. champion. Goes in Elimination Chamber U.S. Championship. Because how many superstars we have on Monday Night Raw competing for the U.S. Championship? Imagine that. If you want to keep the belt on Mello, imagine having Mello having a superstar performance in the chamber. Imagine the competitors being like Ilya Dragunov, Johnny Gargano. You could have Trick Williams, you want to put him in that scene. Shinsuke, Rey Fenix, like I'm naming the competitors. Fraxium. They were competing as well, having great matches for the US title. And you have all these people there. Imagine that. And for the female side, you could have it if you want to save the Intercontinental Championship for AJ versus Becky. In my opinion, that's a horrible decision having it on Elimination Chamber. But if you want to have that for as a match Elimination Chamber or a WrestleMania, the women's US desperately needs that. Needs that sort of rub in order to make that title meaningful. Because as good as Julia is, she is not a respected champion. Neither was Chelsea Green, neither was Selena Vega, and you could build up that women's mid card. Or you could even, because it intertwines with the women's tag team, you could have Charlotte and Alexa be in that elimination chamber. Or you could have the women's belt be defended in the elimination chamber. But it just has to be something else to promote other belts. Because in my opinion, all of the storylines for the main event, no, for the main event belts are already solidified. They're already there. Sometimes the easy route is the good route, is the best route. And if I were booking WWE, Triple H, I'm talking to you. I I would take the easy route and use this chance that I have now to use this opportunity to build up the lower card belts because you have the talent to make it exciting, to make people care about it. Because currently, I don't want to see Carmelo Hayes with or against the Miz again. I'm not sort of hooked as Carmelo Hayes as US champion. He's great in ring, but everything else is missing. Like Ilya brought that, sort of excitement for me. You could say Sammy, even though he wasn't the best US champion, he brought that legitimacy of being a somewhat main eventer coming down and getting the US belt. John Cena did the same thing when he did his open challenge. You need that legitimacy, and Melo doesn't bring that. Yet again, your mid card has it though. It could work. But I don't think WWE can ever do that again because they went through a period of having these mid card belts, these other belts that weren't, the top belts, be defended in Elimination Chamber. But in my opinion, it was horrible booking with horrible superstars in a great gimmick, which was the Elimination Chamber. Also, speaking about the chamber, get rid of the padding outside. Like, do you not imagine? Like, do you remember how great it was having that exposed metal, having people fall on it? You could hear the noise of the bang. In my opinion, we need that again. Sometimes safety should be thrown away for stuff like that for entertainment. And that's a horrible take, but that's just me thinking. Well, thank you guys so much. This is sort of the return video back. Hopefully by next week we'll have our regularly scheduled, you know, PLE reviews, SmackDown Raw reviews. Also coming up very soon. These sort of ideas I'm talking about for my Spanish speakers out there. Me and Jay are going to have a serious conversation about Club America and the sort of direction we're going at today. Um, I do want to speak about Manchester United soon. We're on a great run. Obviously, the title West Ham was not the best. Shout out to my bro who still can't cut his hair. Obviously, F1 with the liveries. I do want to talk about now Cadillac and Audi being in the sport. Obviously, losing Sauber and now adding Cadillac. I do want to talk about them as well. And there's a lot of more topics I want to talk about. I do want to go into the NBA because clearly there has been situations going on in the NBA I do want to talk about. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back very soon. Thank you guys so much and goodbye.